with Rico and Kayla is about to go live online. Catch All Out Monster hit music, All Out celebrity interviews, All Out showbiz and sports news, All Out fun, an exclusive on the Monster. Catch the stream on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, and twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Your All Out hosts, Rico Robles and Kayla Rivera. Stand by and enjoy the program.
Hey, that's what it's all about. It's a fantastic Friday here on the show, and we're very much excited. We're going to travel to London today. Why? We're going to be talking to a sensation that's been making you, let's just say, remind you of the essentials of life. Please welcome, first time on the show, 20-year-old KAMAL. Hey, man.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, great. How's everything going? What time is it there right now?
It's all good, bro. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I woke up specially for this interview, so I'm a little bit tired, but I'm all right.
Hey, all gravy, man. Thank you very much, for taking time to actually join us. Essential, your track, the current number 3 song here. Many of the monsters are requesting for the track. It's a beautiful song. Tell us the story behind the track.
Yeah, it's sort of a classic breakup song to me. It's sort of about that empowering feeling when you realize that you're going to be able to get over someone and you're going to be able to sort of carry on your life without them. And I had that moment myself not too long ago, so I thought I'd make a song about it.
And when you write a song about heartbreak, is it challenging? How much of yourself do you put out there when you write it?
It definitely can be challenging, and I feel like a lot of my my songwriting is from real life experiences. So sometimes it does feel quite personal, but at the same time, it's sort of like it's a freeing experience to sort of be able to get those emotions out of you and just get them into the music and share them with other people. So it's definitely something I enjoy still.
And it's therapeutic, sort of the
Yeah.
way, right? That for you to be able to let go is you got to verbalize it, but in your case you got to harmonize it and make a couple of along the way. I mean, when people start to relate to the track, and what were the interesting ones that people be coming up to you, with Essential? What was the reaction when you first released it?
I think in Essential, a lot of people were just sort of DMing me saying like they really get it, or that it's helping them through a breakup when they're in the early stages of it, which is really a wonderful thing, I think, to be able to sort of like share your experiences and have them actually end up helping other people who are going through the same stuff like on a later date than you. But yeah, the people that are like for the people that are going through breakups and the song's helping them, I'm super glad that it could sort of find that is.
Breakups are for real. But was people like, yeah, for real, you get over it quick? Nah, dude, you gotta understand. You know what I mean? That's why love songs and breakup songs are hits, because they're legit feelings being encapsulated to some beats and all that. But with this track, you produced this as well, or you wrote it and you have a group of producers working with you? I know you're an awesome piano player.
Yeah, I do play keys, so I helped with the production on this one, but it's actually my guy Jay Moon who did the bulk of it. And basically the way we work is often like he'll come up with a chord progression and we'll sort of jam over it, and in the studio we'll go back and forth and build it up. So he's building up the instrumentation side, I'm building up the lyrics, and I'm building up the harmonies and such. And we sort of like, we've got a good rhythm, so we work sort of like that, bouncing ideas back and forth in the room.
I mean, I could imagine how the studio work goes. I mean, over in London as well, I was mentioning to you before we start our interview, every artist that we interview from there has a sort of like a sad boy R&B sound, like Druv. We got to talk to Druv at one time, and is it the fog? Is it the weather there that's causing that?
In the air, man. It's something about the rainy weather all the time. It just sets you in that sort of mood. But I don't know, it's kind of a comforting sound to listen to as well. So I definitely get why people are attracted to it.
And there's something about London when it comes to creating music as well. I mean, when I see the likes of Kid Cudi, Kanye West, when they come up with this, when they do their work, their studio work in that area, in that part of the world, there's a certain sound that really comes out. Now, for you, being 20 years old, When did you discover that this is something that I wanted to pursue? This is something that I wanted to do.
Honestly, when I was about like 6 years old, I started playing piano, and at that point, I was like, I just became quite obsessed with it straight away, and I was like trying to figure out any way I could write my own songs instead of doing covers of other people's. And from then, I always said like I want a job in music, even if it's not as a singer, if it's just
Mhm.
as a musician or a producer or a manager even or a teacher. As long as I can do something connected to music, I'm happy. So I'm glad that I got to a point where I could actually do it.
And with awesome supportive parents and a support group, why not?
Yes,
Why not
yes.
run with it? You know what I mean? Now, Kamal, when you were doing all this music, did it all, was it born during the pandemic or before the pandemic even started? It just honed your craft more when it was the pandemic? How did it all start for you? How did it roll out?
So I was already making music before the pandemic, but I think for me it was a time to properly sort of like have some self-reflection and think about what I wanted to write about and the emotions that I wanted to get out through my music, and really
Mhm.
treat it as a sort of cathartic experience of like sort of getting the emotions out and working through and just finding my sound and the stuff that I gravitate towards. And I think it was
Mm,
good for me in the sense that like I could take the time away and
mm.
use it for something productive, which made me feel better. Like it felt like a better use of the time.
And for those that are tuning in, we're talking to Kamal. He is joining us from London. We're talking the track that you're hearing in the background. That's his song Essential we're playing. And there are other tracks as well that he came out with, Nowhere to Hide. Tell us the story behind it.
Nowhere to Hide is sort of it's one of those where I didn't have such a structured idea to the song, but I was just more starting with vibes. And I remember the first lyric, all this money don't make sense. It was just a sort of thing about regardless of how much you work in your job and stuff, a lot of the time you can still feel um sort of a loneliness, or there's still times in the day where you feel sort of mellow or melancholy, and how regardless of the stuff you try and fill your life with, a lot of the time you still have to come back and face that feeling.
Mm.
So I just wanted to sort of write about that and see if anyone else sort of connected to that sort of thing to make them feel sort of less alone in that feeling.
I mean, with the writing process of songs and feelings and emotions, in one sitting, can you finish a whole song, then do the melody? Which one comes first for you? Is it the melody first and the song? And do
So for
you
me,
keep any notes and on the footnote there, like this is my
yeah.
emotion at this time?
I mean, I think what I do a lot of the time is I take voice memos on my phone, so I take little recordings, and it's definitely melody that comes first for me. And I'll piece together bits of the melody through the voice memos, and then afterwards I'll go through and sort of I'll sort of add lyrics as I go. And a lot of the
Mm.
time I sort of build the song like that, like a melody will make me feel a certain feeling, and then that feeling will make me think of a lyric, and this it all sort of comes connected. But it definitely is the melody first for me most of the time.
Voice notes. Taking note of
Yeah,
this. Voice note.
voice
I got
note.
my phone. Voice notes.
That's
Voice
the
notes.
trick.
All
That's
right.
the trick. Because you can
And
stay so ready.
yeah, true. Because if you write it down, you'd be like, oh, what's the melody of this
Yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Literally.
It'll get very, very confusing. Now, when you start your career, when you started pursuing music, what was the vision? What was, like, the main thing? What was the goal? To go worldwide, to have the number one album, to win a Grammy? What was the
I mean,
goal that you had in mind?
there's always these sort of material goals in my head, and obviously I'd love to like go worldwide and feel international and feel like I've blown up properly like that. But at the same time, I feel like my entry point and my vision now is still always just like to make good music, and I don't want to strip it away from that simplicity, because I feel like that's where all the good things in my life have been coming from. So I want to keep putting my energy towards just making sure the music's good and making sure people are like enjoying it and relating to it.
And for you, when it comes to making music, what were your influences when you were starting out, and how much of your influences are in your sound now?
Mm. I feel like I listen to so many sort of different genres of music that it's quite difficult to pick just a few ones. But growing up, it was a lot of people like Erica Badu, quite a lot
Mhm,
of early Drake, to be fair.
mhm.
Um, there's a singer who's less well known called Keaton Henson, who writes beautiful lyrics over guitar, and I find his stuff really inspiring, especially for sort of the lyrical side of stuff. But yeah, I feel like there's so many artists to pull from. That's a really difficult question to highlight certain artists, because anytime you ask me, it could be like different ones that I'm listening to or feeling influenced by.
It really just depends on your vibe. What you're vibing
Yeah.
today could be you're listening to Kendrick, you're
Mhm.
listening to J. Cole at this day, that kind of thing. Now, of course, having the label deal, the world's now opening up. I'm talking to you from the Philippines, man, and you're in London. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you're making it now, you're there. How was it like? Who was the first person that you told, like, yo, I made it? I got my
I
check. We
I've
making
never
music.
I've never said that sentence yet so far, but I mean, it has been a crazy thing for like my friends who have been here like since we were like 3 years old, who've seen me like playing classical piano when I was younger, trying to play the ukulele and sing songs over that. Like for them to see me now is a mad feeling. But I'm just glad that I've got like most of those same people around me, and I can just share that experience with them as much as I can.
So it's like it's a celebration as the
Yeah,
group
man.
itself, right? You'd be like, "Yo, remember the time when I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
that
yeah.
that two
It's
string ukulele?" That's what it is.
it's a group uplifting, man. It's cool.
Now, as an artist, we have personal goals as far as getting that dream instrument. Is there something
Mm.
like that you wanted to get? You wanted to get a Rhodes piano? What is
When
it?
I'm
What?
when I'm up and I'm rich and I've moved out, I want to have the Steinway grand piano with the open back in my house, in my living room, just as the piece de resistance.
That is got to be something. Now,
That is a good one though.
the journey with music, I mean, during my time, it would be demos, it would be mixtapes, and then you get it out there. Then radio picks it up and be heard. But in your time now, you do have radio, you do have streaming and everything. I mean, how much of the quality when you were first coming out? Do you have do you let your family listen to the tracks, or your homies, or your homegirls listen to the track before you bring it out? What's the gauge? How do you know if it's good enough to release?
I think at the end of the day, you have to trust your own taste, and you have to make sure that you trust what you like as a consumer, so that you can sort of feel like you can figure it out. But at the same time, I definitely get feedback from my family, from my dad specifically, and from a few of my close friends. They definitely hit me up and they'll tell me if something's not too good as well. They're not shy, so I can have a good view of it.
Are they into music too? Your parents, are they musicians?
So my dad is properly into music. He used to play classical guitar. My mum is
Uh-huh.
a bit less so, but she's proper supportive and she still listens to all my songs just as much, regardless.
Hey, all right. This is really cool. You do have a musical family, and we're excited for you, for more of the albums and more of the music. Now, all your Filipino fans and your fans here wondering, when are you going to be in the country, man? Are you going to be on tour?
Man, we're trying to look at it. We're trying to figure it all out now still, but yeah, we'll like stay tapped in because we'll figure it out soon.
Number 3 in the charts, a song. Keep on voting for that RX931. Don't forget, we have Kamal. He is going out all out with us, just hanging out with us at a fantastic Friday. Now, here on the show, we do have some random fun questions. Now, on your end, how was it? Like, which gig can you remember the first paycheck you've ever earned? And can you remember how much and what did you buy with it?
So I remember I played a show and it was in a sort of a small pub slash restaurant in South London. And this is
Mhm,
before I was doing my solo career stuff. So it was part of a bigger group of 8 people, I think it was altogether. We called ourselves 811, and we were
mhm,
sort of playing jazzy neo soul music. Um and I think we got like £100 for all of us, which we had to split 8 ways. So it was like, yeah, it was like a bit over £10,
mhm.
and I'm pretty sure I spent it on chicken and chips the next day, and like slowly got through the money just spending it on chicken and chips every day after school. So that's where the first paycheck went.
It's when you get your own order. You ain't got to share. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It's your own. You know what I mean? And now that you have your shows and everything, what's that one thing that you wish you didn't buy? You know what I mean? That you regret. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have bought those kicks, or I shouldn't have bought those.
you know what? That's actually a difficult one because I feel like I don't. get too reckless with the spending.
Mhm.
Honestly, not to be boring again, but honestly, I'll say it's often food. I've been getting too many sort of deliveries, Uber Eat deliveries to my house to try and eat at crazy times. Like, because I'm very nocturnal, so I'll be up at like 2 a.m. ordering food to my house, and it's not sustainable. So that's something I need to stop.
So according to Amplify Entertainment, he's just like me, spending money on chicken and chips. That's what it's about. Now,
Yes,
what's that one thing that most people don't know about you? Do you have any secret talents? Do you have any hidden talents?
you know what? This isn't a secret talent, but something that people don't know much is that I have loads of sort of food allergies. So I'm
Mm.
allergic to loads of different types of nuts. I'm allergic to kiwis, avocado, cherries. The list goes on, and it feels like I'm developing more as I get older. So I'm having to watch out on the foods that I'm avoiding and the ones that I'm tapping into right now. I've
What's gonna
all my
happen?
life is about food.
What's gonna happen when you go on tour? I
Yeah,
could
I don't
imagine
know.
artist writer,
So the other
right?
day, my manager was literally making little cards so we could get translations to different
Right.
languages of all the things I'm allergic to. It's getting techie.
Hey man, that's what it is. But at least you get to enjoy as you travel. Well, hopefully you get the best of the best, especially here in the Philippines. Now,
Yeah.
collaborations. Is there any dream collaborations that you want to do? And also, if there's any collaborations you've done already.
I've done a collaboration with an artist called Dave, which is already out. But apart from that, the only ones I've done, I'm trying to keep sort of a bit on the low. There are I mean, there are people sort of in London, in the London scene right now, who I feel like are doing like really amazing jobs. People like there's an artist called Dexter who people should check out, and one called Jim Legacy who people should check out. And like that sort of innovative stuff that they're making, that London sound, I really want to tap in with that. But sort of international, I mean, my dream one is probably someone like Drake, to be quite honest. Like I
Mm.
listen to so much of that guy's music that would just be like absolutely insane to be able to sort of level with him on a song.
You're gonna have that Michael Jackson moment when you see him in person, right? It's like,
Yeah,
God, I can imagine, man. Right now, when you were starting, I know all the doors weren't always open. I know some of the doors will be closed. They'll be like, "Hey, not today," whatever. What was that one advice that got you going, knocking on your dreams, and that kept you going to pursue it?
I think honestly the best piece of advice I've got so far is just stay grounded and keep the same people around you, because if you're doing music or whatever you're doing, if you're doing it because you really love it, that should be enough of a drive as long as the rest of the things in your life are in place. So for me, it was about keeping my family close, keeping my friends close, because those are the people that inspire me and keep me working, and trusting that the love for music was going to keep me going regardless of like what's happening, regardless of whether people are listening or not. Like I'm going to keep making the music as long as I can.
And they do say that the greatest people who could give you a love advice are songwriters, because they're in touch with the emotion. They're like
Mm.
right next to it and they could tap into that anytime. Now, for you, what's that one love advice or, people out there that are heartbroken that you could give?
I'm not sure I'm the best for this one because I myself have not got the best love life at the moment. But what I
Mhm.
will say is that, and not to be cheesy, but self-love comes first always. And like, if you don't have that, honestly, like that's the place to start. But if you're going through heartbreak, like find the love in places that's not romantic and it's still there. Like find the love for your friends, find the love for your family, find the love for your craft, and put your energy into that, and it will come back to you.
They did say I saw this on TikTok. It's like you want to make 1 million, get your heart broken. You'll get $1 million right away. You know what I mean? That's what they do say.
That's it, man. We're on the way. Hopefully, I'm getting my heart broken enough times, so it should pay off.
Right, right. Wait. Congratulations in the future as far as the music is concerned. We're excited for more releases. Kamal, we wish we could keep you longer, but greet all your Filipino fans and invite them to vote for your song.
Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in and listening. And honestly, listen to the song, request it, all of that. Thank you. Love.
Thank you very much, my man. And we'll see you in Manila. Okay. Hopefully we get you here And
Yes,
not a lot of food allergies for you, man.
hope so.
All right, you take care, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, for Fantastic Friday, give it up for Kamal. Thank you, my man. Take
Thank you,
care.
man. Thank you.
All right,
Love.
peace. There you have it. We're going to hear a song right now, of course, for granting us that interview over in London. Thank you very much, Kamal. Here's his track. This is the current number 3 song here in the Countdown Top 7. Vote for it. Let's get it up there at number 1. Here is Kamal with Essential. Till then, my name is Rico Robles. On behalf of Kayla Rivera, this has been another Monster exclusive interview on a Fantastic Friday.
Monster exclusive interview. Monster exclusive interview. Only from Manila's hottest. Monster RX93.1.